Hello my friends! It's time. I have been trying to deal with my handmaids for a while. I posted a video introducing the concept of what I was going to try to do, and let me put these down. Basically, what I've done is I'm about to film a podcast and I've pulled out a couple of my heaviest sweaters. We are almost in May right now and it's just getting to be time for me to wash some sweaters, get them put away, and move on to pulling out some of my warmer weather handmaids. So I'm going to take this opportunity and go through some of my sweaters. This is not all of them. I am having a hard time just like getting myself organized to do this whole series. So basically I just grabbed what was in front, what I felt like dealing with today. I'm running a little bit late, so I only grabbed a couple. We're just gonna try them on really quick. I'm gonna go through all of the details if I have any. Some of these I made a really long time ago and I was really bad at writing stuff down, so I don't have all of the details. So we're gonna go through what we can, we're gonna try stuff on, we're gonna make a decision about what I'm gonna do with these things, and then no matter what I do, they're all gonna get cleaned, and then they will be put back in the closet, or they will be passed on to someone else. So let's get going and see where this takes us. All right, you will hopefully forgive me for looking at my phone for the details of a lot of these things. I can't remember them all. So let's get started with actually one of my favorites. This is the first full sweater that I ever made for myself. This is the Winter League Pullover by 2 of Wands, and I love it. I made this in Lion Brand Wool Spun. I never remember the name of that. It is a discontinued yarn. A couple years ago they pulled it out of the vault for a limited release. I grabbed some. This is the color Mahogany, and I love this sweater. Oh my gosh, it's covered in hair. In pet hair. It really needs a wash. I love this so much. So it looks like I did write down that I made the size medium. However, I have no other details, and I do know that I did not get gauge. I am assuming, based on the way that this fits me, that I probably got somewhere pretty close because it's not horribly over or undersized, but I don't know what size needle I used. I'm positive that I didn't get gauge. I guess I could count it, measure the gauge right now, and check and see what I got. But I know that I was not on with gauge, and I just decided to wing it and see what happened. And to be honest, oh, I wish I had written down more because I love the way that this fits so much. It's just the coziest, comfiest, most amazing sweater. I get all kinds of compliments on it all the time. I love it. This one is 100% staying. It will have to be falling to pieces before I get rid of it. Next up we have Ascent by Valentina Consalvi, and this I made in Loop Fiber Studio Yin Yang worsted yarn in the colors, let's see, okay, A Place for Everything is the bottom, All That is this reddish color, Lions and Tigers is the gold, Sea is this, I don't know, minty blue color, and then Everything in Its Place is the purple. So I don't know what size I made. I used a US 8 needle for this, and I probably made the small or medium. This sweater is one that I will be keeping forever because it has a very special story, and that is that my husband knew I loved this yarn. There's a lot of stuff going by us outside right now. Sorry for all that noise. My husband knew that I loved this yarn, and he picked out all of these colors for me and this pattern as a Christmas gift a couple of years ago, and then I made the sweater and I love it. I almost never wear it because it is so warm. It's so hot. I cannot leave this on for very long. Because of this color work, you end up, this yarn is really warm on its own, and then you end up with it doubled in a lot of places, and it's just, it's so hot. It's so hot. This is the first and only color work project I've done, so it's kind of tight and bunchy in some places and it doesn't give very well. I made the sleeves probably a little bit shorter than I should have. It has a high neck, so it's a little bit tighter than I would like around the neck. It's just not perfect. But I love it and I'll never get rid of it, even though I don't wear it that often. It's great for very cold days in the winter, but of course, this time of year, I'm already starting to sweat. Next, let's talk about my super fluffy sweater. This is a design by me that released earlier this year, and I have two of them. This is the first sample that I made. Both samples are made in Bernat Pipsqueak, and this one is in the colorway Pixie Pow, and I love it. There are two options for the neckline in the pattern. One has a slightly wider neck that allows it to be open a little bit more, so that is what this version has, and this one I made slightly more on the cropped side. I love it. It's perfect. I love this sweater so much. It will not be going anywhere. Also, I do want to say that I have already washed these because, you know, I believe it's polyester, so they don't have the same properties as wool does. They get stinky and smelly and dirty and all that kind of stuff, so they need to be washed a bit more regularly than some of my wool sweaters, and these wash amazingly. So let me throw on my second one for you to see really quickly, and then we will move on. This is my second sample in the colorway Elephant Gray, and I made this one just a little bit longer, and you can see that this has the other neckline, so it sits a bit higher up on my neck. I love it. It is the perfect sweatshirty feeling. Oh, it's just amazing, and I love it. I wore this non-stop this winter. Could not take it off. So these two are sticking around. Next we have the Fuzzy Raglan by Janine Myska, and this I made with Karen Latte Cakes in the colorway Cream, and oh my gosh, if you haven't felt this yarn yet, you need to. So I made the size medium for this, and I used a 6.5mm crochet hook. I am pretty sure, yeah, I have in my notes, oh my gosh, look at me, I started to actually take good notes. I made no modifications. There are optional short rows in this pattern, but I chose not to do them because actually I felt like it fit me just fine. Yes, it does hit a little bit up high on the front neck, but I chose not to do the short rows, and this was a really fun pattern to make. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the raglan shaping. I think it's great. I love the pattern, I love the yarn, but I never wear this. I never ever wear it. And I think, one, it's because it is so warm. Like, I instantly start sweating when I put this on, and I feel like I smell bad as soon as I wear it. So there's that. And two, I don't think this color looks great on me. I feel like it doesn't do much for me. So I feel like, you know, I don't think that people should really necessarily only wear colors that look good on them and, you know, wear whatever you want. But I think when I put this on, I don't feel great in it. And so therefore I never want to reach for it because I know that I'm gonna feel meh about myself when I'm wearing it. So This is a really, really, really nice sweater, and I feel like someone out there would really love it. So I might pass this on to someone, and maybe one day I'll try making this sweater with a different yarn, because I really loved the experience of making this pattern. I just remember feeling a lot of joy in it, and I feel like maybe with like a merino wool or something like that, I might feel a little bit differently about wearing it. Now, something that's really cool about this yarn is that it's so fuzzy, so the seams get hidden, and there is a seam straight down the middle of the back. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but so if I'd made this with a different yarn that didn't have this halo, it would be more pronounced, but you know, whatever. It is what it is. So we'll see. Maybe I have to bump this up on a list of patterns that I would love to make again, because I really like it and I remember how much joy it brought me, but I never ever want to wear it. So I think this one might be going. Next up is the Professor Pullover by Claire Jackson of Perfectly Knotted, and I was able to test this pattern for Claire, and I love it. I really love it. And this, let's see. Okay, I have so many details on this because I actually took some notes. I used I made the size 42. I used a size US 8 and US 7 needles. I used just over 5 skeins of yarn. I do remember I had to break into one more skein, and I was so annoyed about that, because if I had added just the teensy bit less length, I wouldn't have had to do that. So let's see. The main color is, this is Loop Fiber Studios Yin Yang Worsted. Again, this is the first project I used that yarn for, and I love it. The main color is Beyond. This darker rusty orange color is Above, and then the deeper blue is If, and the lighter blue is When. So I love this pattern, but I actually haven't worn it. I didn't wear it all year this winter, and I don't know why. That's interesting. Now that I put it on, I'm like, oh my gosh, why? Why did I not wear it? I think because it's a teensy bit tight for me in the neck. Claire did adjust that in the pattern, in the final pattern, because that was a common issue that was happening in the testers, so it fits people a lot better now. So if you're interested in this pattern, don't worry about that. I also made it quite long because my style was a little bit different back then when I made this. So, I don't know. I love it. I still love it. And now that I put it on, I feel bad that I didn't wear it all year. So, I think I'll keep this one around, because now that I have it on, oh, I really like it. Oh, I can't believe I didn't wear this. I really love this sweater. Don't let me do that again. And last for today, we have the After the Storm sweater, which I tested for Brie of the Little Wolf Knits, and dagnabbit, this is a good one too, man. I made the size 40. I used a US 9 needle for this, and I used the Frosted Stitch Winter Worsted in the colorways Periodical for the main color, and Stacks for this maroon edging that I did, which was only, basically I did the cast on and bind off in this contrast color, and I love it. Okay, now that I have this on, I feel like I have to look in the mirror. Hang on. There's a mirror on the door right here. Yeah, okay. Okay. I love this sweater. I forgot. Oh, the Frosted Stitches Winter Worsted yarn is so soft and squishy. It just feels, it feels so good. But I actually think, I might say goodbye to this sweater. I think I might say goodbye to this sweater and I might try and make a different one. There's a couple things with this. One, the sleeves are like at the exact right length, but that means that sometimes as the sweater shifts and stuff, like I feel like they get a little bit short and then I feel like I'm constantly tugging them down. Two, again, I made this back when my style was a little bit different, and so I made it quite a bit longer than the pattern calls for. Like actually, I think I added almost a full skein of yarn length to this. So there's that. So I feel like I don't love the way that it hits, or like exactly where it's hitting on my hips. And then the split hem, instead of, you know, falling like a nice split hem, it's being pulled over my hips and pulled open. So I feel like when I put this on, I feel wider than I am. Because I feel like it's pulling around my hips, even though it's not. It's just the way that I feel. So now that I've put it on though, I forgot how much I love this detail. It's really good. This was a really fun pattern to make. This was the first test that I did for Brie, and I was so happy to be a part of it. Okay. This is what we have come to today. I tried on 7 sweaters, and I am going to pass on 2 of them because it's time. It's time, but honestly, I'm going to add both of these into my list of patterns that I want to make again. There are very few patterns on that list because I'm not someone that tends to make things multiple times. So there are only a couple of patterns on that list so far, and these 2 sweaters are definitely going to be added on there because I think I would love this so much more if it was just at a slightly different length. This isn't going to show very well, but yeah, I think I would love it so much more. Longer sleeves, like even like half an inch longer sleeves, and yeah. Now some would say I could cut this, rip out, use that yarn to extend the sleeves, and then graft this back together. But I don't want to. I don't want to. I'd rather make the whole sweater again than do that. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I also don't tend to wear a ton of gray anymore. As much as I love this, I don't tend to wear a ton of gray. So I think that's the plan. I think this will be better loved by someone else, and I think someone else will really, really, really appreciate it. So I think I'm ready to do that and add these patterns to my make again list. Okay, this wasn't as painful as I thought it would be. I will try on some more outfits in a few days and compile a bunch of stuff and get this out to you so you can help me decide what I should do with these sweaters that I'm getting rid of. So more to come, and I'll see you in a couple days for me, and in 1 second for you. Another day, another fashion show. And today's theme is a pile of clothes that fell on my head as I was trying to put things away in my closet, plus one random sweater that makes me itchy. So let's start with that sweater. This is the Elma sweater, which I tested for Pacific Knot, and this is a beautiful sweater and I love it, but I also hate it, and that is very unfortunate. Let's talk about it. I used Hedgehog Fibers Tweedy for the main color, and this is the light gray base. Back when I bought this, Tweedy didn't come in multiple different colors. It came in this and I think maybe a black version. So yeah, I know nowadays it comes in some other colors, but it only came in the light gray and the black when I first purchased it. So that is the main color, and then the contrast stripes are Knit Picks Capretta Superwash in the colorway Meridian Heather. And I decided to do the striping because I was a little bit nervous about running out of yarn of the Tweety. I know that the stripes didn't end up adding up to much. I used like about 110 yards. So it didn't add up to too much, but I think I might have ended up running out of my Tweety if I had done the whole thing without the stripes. So what I did was the Capretta Superwash is fingering weight, so I held it double for the stripes, and then the Tweety is a DK weight, so I held that single. I made the size 2, and I used a US 7 for the body and a US 5 for the ribbing on the collar, sleeves, and the waist. This pattern does come in a short sleeve or long sleeve option. As I said, I was already worried about running out of yarn for the for this as I made it, so I went short sleeve instead of long sleeve. I never would have had enough. So let's see. I love this sweater. I loved making it. I love Pacific Knot. I have done a couple of tests for them, and it is always a great experience. But here's the thing. Tweety is made up of like waste. So basically, like, you can send your yarn waste to Hedgehog Fibers and they will process it and mill it into the Tweety yarn. So you can see like all these different things. There are some some things in here that I think are silk, some little bumps that are sparkly, some that like are probably a mohair of some kind. So the thing is that you never really actually know what kind of fiber this is. So it makes me so itchy. And it is a turtleneck, and it does not have short rows. So I don't find it annoying that it doesn't have short rows. So the pattern itself, if I were to make this in a different yarn, fits me really well. And I don't mind that it doesn't have short rows. I don't feel like it's choking me. But because it doesn't have short rows, it sits up even higher on my neck, and it's a turtleneck, and it's made of all these fibers that I don't know what they are, and I have really, really sensitive skin. So I actually managed to wear this a bunch of times last winter when I made it. I just pulled it out earlier today, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna wear this for a little bit. I haven't worn it all season this year because I was afraid of it itching. So I thought, let me just put it on for a little bit and let me see how I do with the itchiness. And I only made it a couple of hours and I had to take it off. So this is going. This is a great sweater. I love it so much, but I'm getting rid of it because it's just taking up space and I can't stand wearing it. And even right now, I can't wait to get it off. So unfortunately, maybe I will make this pattern again with different yarn, but I will never, ever wear this or use Tweety ever again. No, nothing against the yarn, but it's not for me and my skin. So that's it. Goodbye, Elma Sweater. You were great. Just a quick note, I am wearing a tank top today underneath all of these things because I have some that are see-through and some that are cropped, and I just needed it today. So I am wearing my Bellverly Hills Crop, and this is a design by me. And I used Barocco Ultra Alpaca Fine in the colorway Blueberry Mix. This is a discontinued yarn, and it is a very light fingering weight yarn. I made the size 3 according to the pattern, and I made it cropped. I I made mine, I chose to make the crop version because this yarn is discontinued and I had a limited amount. But it comes with multiple options in the pattern for length, for the way you want the body to fit, if you want it to cinch in at the waist, or if you want it to hang looser and be flowier. I had several testers make all kinds of different versions and they all look great. So this will not be going anywhere. I am definitely not ready to say goodbye to any of my designs. So this will not be going away. I don't wear it that much because guess what? It's itchy. I do wear it occasionally, but I only wear it when I'm going to be wearing it for shorter periods of time. It's so weird because I have not had an alpaca yarn other than this one itch me. So there's just something about it. I don't know if there's like a mix, something mixed in there with it. I don't know. But it's very unfortunate. But the good news is that I am rewriting all of my patterns, not necessarily rewriting them all. I am updating them all with new branding, new layouts. Some are getting new size ranges. Some are getting like expanded size ranges. They're all going to be getting screen reader friendly versions. It has been quite a labor of love to do this, and one of the patterns that I want to revamp the most is my Bellverly Hills Crop. So I do think I'm going to be making another one of these because there are a couple of tweaks that I want to make to it that we kind of came up with in testing. Nothing big, just like a couple extra ideas for modifications and some fit suggestions so that people can really tailor it to fit their body as much as possible. So yeah, if you already have the pattern or are thinking of getting the pattern, there's nothing wrong with it at this point, but it's going to be basically expanded so that you can make an even better version of exactly what you want with guidance written right in the pattern. So I will never get rid of this because, you know, it's one of my designs, but I'll probably be making another one because I don't wear this very often because I am a little bit itchy. Next we have the Boatside Hooded Muscle Tee, which I tested for Amanda of Lovely by Lee. And I unfortunately don't have it written down, but I'm pretty sure I made the size medium, and I used a Lion Brand Touch of Linen in the colorway Clay. I used a US 10 for the body and a US 8 for the ribbing. And this was a great pattern. I love testing for Amanda. Her patterns are so good, so well written, so detailed but not overwhelming. Yeah, I love her patterns and I loved testing this. However, I've never worn it. I wore it, no, that's a lie. I think I wore it twice. I wore it to take pictures and then like continued to wear it that day after I took pictures, and then I think I wore it one more time after that. And the thing is, I don't like hoods. I don't like hoods. So I tested this mainly because I had never made a hood before and I wanted to learn how and challenge myself and try something new. And I did, and it was awesome and it was lots of fun, and I don't wear hoods. I don't like wearing hoods. I don't like having them. It actually, I have a really sensitive neck and shoulder area, and sometimes the weight of hoods pulling on my neck actually hurts. So this was a great project. I have absolutely nothing negative to say about it, but I think I'm gonna be passing it along. I don't know, like, should I try and like take off the hood? Should I try and make one of these that doesn't have a hood, maybe? Because I'm kind of like loving the like muscle tee style that's going on here, but yeah. I also don't think this color looks great on me because it's like really close to my skin tone. So you live and learn. And I love this pattern. you know, anything that I'm getting rid of, I don't have anything negative to say about the items or the pattern or the designer or anything. It's time to pass things along. So I think this is going to be one of them. Next is the Outline Raglan by Jessie Made Designs, and this is going. Let's talk about it. I used Knit Picks Cotlin Reflections in the colorway Cirrus. This is a discontinued yarn, and I made the size extra small, which is not the size that I would normally make, but I think, from what I can remember, unfortunately I don't have any notes about that, but I think my gauge was way off, and so I decided to pick the appropriate size. Like, I did the math and figured out what size I needed to make with my gauge. But, okay, I made some a decent amount of modifications to this, and if you want to know how I did it, I'm not going to list it all here, but it is all written out in my project page on Ravelry. But basically, what I did was, the pattern itself has this drop stitch detail that happens, but in the original it goes along the raglan seam, and then it cuts across the body, and it continues to go to the center. Now, if I had continued to do that to get to the length that I needed, I would have, like, my lines would have met before I even got to the length that I needed. So I did about half of the body having the drop stitch go in towards the center, and then I did the other half of my body having it go out to the side. It took some math and figuring out, but again, like I said, if you want to do something like this, I have it all written down in my project page, exactly what you need to do. Now, the reason this is going is because I never wear it and I hate it. I hate it because this is a classic example of me just wanting to get things done and not thinking about the finished product, or not, like, caring enough to put in the extra time. Because look, it is still not a length that I love. I'm like, I continuously pull it down, and look at the sleeves. Look at the sleeves. This is supposed to be a long sleeve. And I tried this on like 1,000 times, and I tried it on and I was like, okay, I think the sleeves are like here. So, you know, I didn't have it like lined up properly on my body when I was trying it on. It's a mess. So, I mean, it's not bad. Like, if I didn't tell you that I thought I was making long sleeves, you probably would think, oh, she went with 3/4 sleeves. But I'm over it. I'm over it. I never wear it. This is nice yarn. It's a nice pattern if you make it to fit you. Yeah, it's going. It's going because now I have like cotton and linen dust flying all over the place. Yeah. Honestly, the only reason I've been hanging on to this for as long as I did is because I wanted to include it in some kind of video like this so that I could show it to you and say I made it. So, that's it. Goodbye, Outline Raglan. Last up for today, we have the Magic Hour Sweater by 2 of Wands, and I used Caron Cotton Funnel Cakes in the colorway Dove, and oh my gosh, I love this yarn. I'm pretty sure it's discontinued now, but I wish that they would bring it back because I would make so many things out of this yarn. I love it. It's squishy, it's plump. It does not feel like a lot of cottons feel. It's fantastic, especially in garter stitch like this pattern uses. So let's see. I do not have the size that I made written down, unfortunately. I used a US 11 for the body and a US 10.5 for the ribbing. And wow, this needs to be washed. My sleeve is dirty. Holy cannoli. It's time. Oh wait, I made size small. I found it. I made size small. And here's what happened with this one. I don't know how, but I accidentally, this whole thing is knit in pieces and seamed. For some reason, when I made the front panel, I cast on 10 extra stitches, which at this gauge is a lot. I mean, 10 stitches is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, that's like 2.5, 2 3/4 inches. That's like a lot. So, yeah, I didn't realize it. It's knit bottom up. I didn't realize that I was off until I went to split for the V, and then I was like, what the heck, why are these numbers adding up? So I did some math, fudged it, figured out what I had to do to get the decreases to line up and all that stuff. So this is huge on me. It is not supposed to be this open in the front. It's supposed to be more like this. I mean, yeah, it's still big and oversized, but it should fit me more like this. It shouldn't be constantly falling off my shoulders. However, I was not going back, and I still wear this all the time. I wear it more, my like classic outfit for this is like a summertime or like late summer, early fall bonfire. I like to wear it as a layer. It's breezy, but it's warm. I love it. It's perfect. I would make another one of these in a heartbeat. This is not going. I love it. Highly recommend this pattern. Although I will say, I don't find any need to seam the sleeves. Okay? Seam the body if you want, but then pick up and do the sleeves. Do the sleeves in the round. I don't know. It's up to you. Do what you want. Do what makes you happy. But for me, if I ever make it again, these sleeves are not getting seamed. No. Okay, so that was pretty productive. I have just been whipping things off and throwing them on the chair behind me. So I tried on 5 things today, and I am getting rid of 2. No, I'm keeping 2 of them and getting rid of 3. So I think that brings my my count for this video. Is that 6 that I'm getting rid of? 5 that I'm getting rid of? I don't know. We'll see when I edit this, and I will let you all know what I'm at so far. This is great. It feels good to be getting things out of my closet and making some space. So I think this is where I will wrap up this video, and I will do another intro and all that stuff for the next round of try-ons. So until next time, when we try on even more clothes that maybe fell onto my head or that I just decided to grab, we will see what I pick out. Until next time, take care of you, and I will see you later. Bye.